Okay, so we've got 3 different kinds of these. The one I'm holding here is green. It is marked in color and with a tactile marking on top, so if it's in the dark and you can't see, you can rub the top and you can feel that it's a triangle, you know that's a green one.
What's the green one?
The green... Oh, you're testing me.
For submarine warfare, guys, it indicates an incoming torpedo.
Yep.
Okay? It can also indicate other stuff, but
Yeah.
it goes to be pre-planned before, but like the only times I've used a green one, it was to indicate an incoming torpedo shot by the submarine. So submarines will shoot a green flare thing, and it was ECX.
If I open up my handy dandy handout, I might be able to give you the 100% official answer.
Textbooks answer.
Yeah.
Textbook answer.
No, it's a good question. Let's see. Yes, so here. Red is used for distress only. Green is used to indicate torpedo or simulated torpedo firing. And yellow is used to indicate a man overboard.
You're welcome, everyone.
Very good on getting the green one, Tommy.
Yeah, the senior sailor.
Yeah. So here I've also got the yellow, again marked by its color, and then this one is a circle. So if you are in the dark, you can feel around, look for the circle, you know you got a yellow.
And red?
The red is an X. Yeah. And then here I've got what's called a red parachute signal rocket. It's basically a giant hand flare, but one end fires out. Sorry, this end fires out. Yeah. The end that has the grip goes down. Makes perfect sense. Right?
Yeah.
That's so you can figure out which end is up at night.
Yeah, it was
Okay, so for operation, you twist the cap off here. And
welcome to the Navy, sir.
up at a 45-degree angle, downwind, away from any other personnel. Make sure you're in a clear zone.
I want to emphasize downwind, guys. That shit's super fucking toxic.
You don't want to breathe this in.
Sorry, General.
Oh yeah, go ahead. Yeah, make sure it's downwind because A, like you said, it's toxic. Also, it's really hot. You do not want that blowing back in your face. You will be very burned. That's why we wear flash gear. Yeah. When you're ready to fire, you twist the bottom part. We'll fire out. And it's got a parachute. It'll hang in the air for, I believe, like 45 or 60 seconds, something like that.
Depends on the winds.
Yeah. And then in these two, do we have an open one in the locker?
There's a damaged one. I can get that one.
Yeah, go grab me one of these, just so that I can take. I don't want to open the fresh ones. So yeah, so these are the big boys. Your C-71 paraflares. It's basically a giant one of them, but it's white instead of red. This is used primarily for visibility at night. Very, very similar operation. I'll show you guys once you break the one that's already open. Any questions so far? This one's already all cracked out. You didn't use the fancy. Take somebody that doesn't use my fancy knife.
These flares are not exclusive to Navy.
Yes, Army, Air Force, they both also use these flares. Yeah, exact same ones. You can see, it's a nice cat pack green. So, same kind of deal with this one. It doesn't have the ribs on it to make it easy to identify.
They wrap it up soon there.
I get it.
Okay.
Top chop.
Yeah, so you want to remove the rubber end on top. And then you've got this kind of mechanism down here. So I'm going to try really hard not to activate this. It does have written instructions on it, which is a great help. But yeah, again, 40 45-degree angle up away from the body. Face away. You can pull this safety slider down to the S or past the S and then rotate. Once you rotate it, it's going to fire out. Go really high up in the air, deploy its parachute, and then deploy a big glowing white light. It will be very bright. Probably don't want to stare directly at it. Clockwise!
Good day, everyone. My name is S1 McHugh. I'm one of the fire control techs on board. Today, we have two pieces of pyro we'll be going over. First, we're going to start off with this, the 3-minute floating orange smoke. This is mainly used in emergency situations. These are held in the rib, as well as we have them in our life raft as well. So, the purpose of these is to provide, like kind of the name says, 3 minutes of an orange smoke, just to signal yourselves for other emergency craft. All right, activation for these. This has a simple plastic top. Just gonna rip this off. Has your little cord right here. You're just gonna rip this off. You're gonna immediately throw it in the water downwind to you. All right, they tried to use these things a few years ago for a crossing the line ceremony. Cool, made a big old piece of pyro. Very freaking toxic. All right, CF98's where written. It sucks. So like I said, just rip it, throw it downwind to you. Gives you 3 minutes of an orange smoke. So great to go back on. All right, pass that around. Next, those divers out here, you guys are probably fairly used to seeing this. This is called our day-night marker. All right, these are located on all of our boat packs and our dive packs. Also, there's a few up on the bridge, and your aft lookouts will hold one of these. All right, these are personally used flares for if a single person were to fall overboard or be in distress. And there's two sides to it. Both these sides can be used. If you use one, still save it, you have another one. All right, so two different types right here. We have our daytime side. It's flat, nothing on there. This is our orange smoke. So, activation for these, fairly simple. You have your pull cord here. You're just gonna rip it. At that point, immediately point it downwind and hold it 45 degrees away from you. Okay, both the flare and the smoke for these are very bright, very hot. You're gonna want to keep that downwind and away. Other side is for nighttime, like I said before. All right, this is gonna be your red flare. Very fucking bright. You will blind yourself. All right, up and away from you. Same activation, twist it off, have your pull tab here, pull it. Both of these are only going to last for about 20 seconds. Only use it when you know you have people coming to look for you. If not, you're just wasting this. Alright? Easiest way to remember this, and especially if it's pitch dark and you can't see shit. Nighttime is rib. Daytime is just plain. Alright? So if you want to use the nighttime one, just feel for it. Feel these, you're on the right side. Alright, do you have any questions about either of those? That's about it, you guys.
What I have here is a search and rescue transponder. This can be a potentially life-saving device in the event the ship goes down. So we have two of these located on the bridge, either side, right behind the bridge wing doors. And so what this is as a transponder, it does not transmit any signals, but rather it waits for a radar sweep and then it essentially reflects them back. And how it does that, it does 12 consecutive really fast pings that have an unmistakable pattern on a radar, so anyone watching that will know, hey, someone's in distress, we need to help them. This is a line of sight device, so it requires obviously the ship to be relatively close. And saying that, it can have a maximum distance of around 30 nautical miles. And to aid with that, we get a nice little extendable here, because you want this up as high as possible. Better chances. To activate it, we have a little red tab here. You pull that down and you twist it into the on position. It'll go into standby mode, at which you have 96 hours of battery. In the active mode, when it senses a radar, it has 8 hours continuous. So hopefully you don't need that long once it's activated. But yeah, it has a light on the bottom to let you know it's activated. We have a test feature and a little lanyard here so you can lash it to a pole to keep it up high. Yeah, so ideally you're going to take it with you in a lifeboat.
All right, on its second one. So my name is Sailor Nelson. Over here we have Petty Officer Grant with the EPIRB in his hand. So this is our emergency position indicating radio beacon. It is an emergency device used for, on board HMCS Winnipeg right now, anytime at sea. This is going to transmit a distress signal via UHF radio transmission to our SARSAT International Search and Rescue Satellite System, which will relay to a land Earth station and be received by a rescue coordination center. The EPIRB is a component of our global maritime distress safety system, and it operates at a 406 megahertz frequency that communicates with the SARSAT. Keying this frequency for 30 seconds or longer will activate the SARSAT. It also contains a 121.5 megahertz frequency that is a homing beacon with a search and rescue VHF directional finder. The user of the EPIRB has to expect from 5 minutes to 4 hours of a delay for the signal to be received and forwarded to your search and rescue organization. This EPIRB will transmit the beacon owner's contact information, emergency contact information, vessel identifying characteristics, position and time when the signal was first heard, as well as the signal strength when first received and last received. This EPIRB can have an accuracy of anywhere from 33 meters to 2 kilometers. And there is 3 aboard HMCS Winnipeg. According to the bosuns, there is also 1 in the rib, so 4. There's 2 on either side of the bridge wings, 1 on top of the bridge top, and then 1 in the rib. The bridge top EPIRB is a hydrostatic release, which has a bolt attached to it. As soon as it's under the water, 4 to 12 meters, it will release, float to the surface, detach from the bottom of the EPIRB, which is going to automatically put it in the on position to a magnetic switch from the bottom of the EPIRB. Woo! When the ship conducts survival stations, the NAVCOM on watch as well as the starboard lookout will carry the EPIRB and or SART to the flight deck. The EPIRBs will not be placed in the same life raft. First life raft out, last life raft out will have an EPIRB in them. So to activate this, we're going to go ahead and push the side pocket here. We're going to flip our little latch up here in the nice red cubby. We're going to hold down on the button, and that's going to activate our SARSAT, or our EPIRB. Any way to turn it off, we can go ahead and bend the antenna back down. We can cut it, or we can hold our off button there. We're switching now. Awesome. Have a good night, everyone.
We're going to talk about Men Overboard Gen 3 Pyrotechnic smoke marker and SC25 or C2E2 smoke markers. So first, the Pyrotechnics, they're generally going to be attached to a Men Overboard, so any Men Overboard device. The way you use them is you're going to grab your Kisby wing, and when you throw your Kisby ring forcefully toward the person overboard, your Pyrotechnic should disconnect, activate, fall in the water, start to emit smoke. It's going to be a orange bright smoke that's going to emit. There's going to be 2 light tubes at the top of it. It's going to start banging, and it's going to be lit for 2 hours, about pretty much close to 2 hours. In case of malfunction, so if it starts smoking right now per se, so what you want to absolutely dodge is going straight face first into the smoke, because the smoke's pretty bad for you, especially if you breathe it. So what you want to do is you want to approach the smoke and either oars kick it or push it back like this, and it's going to just fall in the water. Are there any questions so far? Clear? Okay, so now SC25. This is your classic, typical SC25 marker location marine. Okay, so you're going to use them for men overboard exercise. Are you going to use them for if it's really bad weather and it's foggy and you need a reference marker for when we have helicopter landing on board? Okay, the Air Force, they use these for spotting submarine as well. So they're going to activate it, throw it in the water, it's going to emit smoke, and then they're going to come back with torpedoes, shoot the torpedo in the same location and dent it in the sub. Okay. Typically, these on paper they work from 14 minutes to 20 minutes, but the reality is they're gonna emit smoke for about 7 minutes. It's gonna be a white smoke, and the way you operate these is you want to make sure you turn that screw, Okay, there's two indications. There's safe and arm. You want to twist it to arm, where I have my finger. Okay. And then you puncture the side hole right there, because these are saltwater activated. Okay, C2E2s, they're water activated, but these especially saltwater. Alright, so these are going to be located right by your Kisby ring, because we normally use them for men overboard exercise. And there's and if we need more, well, there's a bunch of lockers, and we have them for Air Force as well. Is there any questions? This is it.
Is that the sun?